So yeah, we got scammed. We got a new car coming, we'll be here in about 20 minutes.
What?
Dude, this is bad. This is bad.
Like unsavable?
Yeah.
A couple months ago, Backroads Garage ran into a big issue. We were running out of money.
All in, I was able to keep it around $5,000.
This is 700. Engine was 500. Transmission was 180. Cam 250. Ollie Terminator 950.
Please let me have it. Come on. Let's go!
We scored it for 500. We lost $1,000.
$432.
$41,651.56.
You see, I had one dream with this channel, and that was to make a living working on cool cars with my boys. But unfortunately, that got expensive quick. So after some discussing with mechanic Max, we came up with a plan to make some profit. Max scavenged Facebook Marketplace looking for the perfect listing, and I took the last bit of cash I had out of my bank account to hopefully flip a car. And financially speaking, if it didn't work, it could mean the end of Backroads for good.
All right, big day. New car. We got a new car coming. We'll be here in about 20 minutes. This is our first step into kinda trying to make some money with this channel, because right now we're going broke, guys.
So I was scrolling at Marketplace and I found a listing that caught my eye. It was a 2011 Chevy Caprice retired cop car, which had a 6-liter LS in it and a 6L80 transmission, which at the time was in the Corvettes. I thought this would be a great car to start with.
There is literally so much ice on the driveway. Like, I hope this guy doesn't like crash. PA should be exactly 246. It is 246 right now, and I'm not seeing anything.
Hey, I'm coming down street right now.
Okay, well, I'll meet you at the end of the driveway.
All right.
It was filthy. It's been sitting for years.
It needs a detail, that's for sure. With how dirty this thing is alone, you know how much money we could make? Why did he not detail this car? What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Sorry about it, it's kind of tight getting in here.
It's all right. How you guys doing?
Good,
Nice to
how are
meet
you? Set.
Nice to meet you. Max?
Yep.
It was a no crank, no start. That could be a million different things. But the guy said that some guys came over and took a look at it and said there's something wrong with the valve train. With these, there's something called a DOD system, which shuts off 4 cylinders, and they do go bad quite a bit. So I figured it would be nothing too crazy, nothing that we couldn't fix and make money on.
It's like spotless underneath. Dude, it's like clean. Let's check out the inside. Door panel. Definitely need.
And you can try to start it if you want to see what it does.
You want to try to start it real quick?
It's just gonna click. That's it.
Okay. Gotcha. Nothing we can't figure out, hopefully.
Hopefully it's an easy one for you.
You get this from like a police auction or something?
Police department.
So this like was a cop car at one point.
Oh yeah.
What you thinking about this thing?
Dude, it's looking good so far.
I think it's pretty sweet, actually. Like, I'm excited to get her washed up, get her running, get an exhaust on it.
What you thinking about this thing so far?
I mean, I think this is perfect for what we need.
Before we fire this up, we gotta get these leaves out. It's gonna catch fire. I talked the guy down from $5,500 to $4,500. The guy wanted $200 more on top of that to deliver it to us. I thought having it detailed, getting it running, you know, $1,500 in parts, we could sell this thing for easily 8 to 10 grand.
All right, man. I gotta hit the road. Nice meeting you guys.
Appreciate it. Seriously, thank you for bringing it out.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Thank you, my man.
I think it literally can't get better than this.
I think this is exactly what we were looking for.
for a flip, for a cool car.
It's literally filthy. We could clean this thing and sell it for like $1,000 more, I think.
Right now. Oh yeah.
And it's got like hopefully simple problems, you know what I mean? Dude, I mean, freaking clean it up, fix whatever the engine problem is. Obviously, we need a door panel in there, headliner.
The door panel's on the back.
Oh, it is?
No one just pointed it out.
Really?
Sitting back there.
Okay,
yeah.
well, we need a new headliner. Defog these headlights. We need to make it look cool for the person who'd want to be buying it. You know what I mean? The only thing with these spotlights is there's going to be holes here.
Yeah, well, we can like just silicone them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or freaking leave them. If they work.
They don't work.
He said they don't work.
Well, unless they might need to have that other battery in the trunk. I bet you they would be connected to the second one, because Nolan and I were trying to turn them on and they weren't working. Yeah. But yeah, maybe we could just leave them. It has these disgusting looking tips on the exhaust too. Literally just putting some cool ones on there would go a long way.
No one pointed this out. It's kind of like metal here. I think it's been like
Rear-ended or something?
rear-ended possibly.
What do you think about this thing?
Perfect. I don't think it's much better than this at all.
Nolan?
This thing is literally what you want for a flip car.
What's like the worst case scenario with this engine?
It's blown.
Yeah.
You'd have to replace it. That's the worst it could get.
And there's a huge hole in the block. And now's probably the time to say, I'm not gonna have my hands in this video too much because I gotta go edit the next Corvette video. So Max is gonna be taking the lead here. Hopefully we walk away profiting.
And just like that, the future of backroads was finally looking up. Not only was the car perfect for a quick flip, but finally we were about to make some money.
But when it was time to start digging into this car, it actually took a turn for the worst. It is time to work on this car, and we're gonna get up on the lift and start looking at this motor, but first, we gotta get this thing cleaned. It is a giant mess. Obviously, this is just a mess in here. If you could smell this, it's pretty musty. But we're gonna get this cleaned up so we are not working in cobwebs and dirt, leaves, who knows what. So this is about 3 years of dirt and grime. Looks like it's been sitting under a tree. This is definitely the worst part of the car here. We cannot wash it outside because outside it is literally -7 degrees. I think my hands would be stuck like this. And the car would actually be a sheet of ice, to be honest with you. We wouldn't even be able to work on it. And I can already see that these rotors are literally caked in rust. Like, it's not just surface rust. It's been sitting for 3 years, the guy said. Now this is the biggest question of the car. You go to crank it and it just clicks. The guy said there's possibly something wrong with the valve train, but that's the biggest part of this video, is definitely trying to figure out what is wrong with this thing. We're gonna have to definitely dig deep. Hopefully it's nothing big. There's no batteries at all, so that's part of the list. We gotta get a battery. This one's definitely for like the engine. This one looks like just for like the auxiliary lights, like the cop cars would have. That I'm not gonna worry about, but definitely gotta get a battery for this side. We're gonna see how many plastic pieces we got so we can try to put this interior back together as well. This is definitely right here. Hopefully we have everything in here. That'd be nice. Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, look at huge here. You can come over to this side. Huge gouge out of it. Definitely missing a couple bolts here too. I'm gonna get a box and I see some miscellaneous bolts. I'm gonna try to just see if we have everything. If we do, that'd be great. If not, we're gonna have to go get some. This is kind of not good at all, but we're definitely missing a valve cover bolt here. I don't know how long that's been exposed. Hopefully not long. Coil packs is laying here. The bolts are over here though. I did see that. There's no sign of this valve cover bolt. All right, we got this engine bay swept up way better. Probably wouldn't start a fire now. There's still a slight chance, but it'll be way better. I do notice this window's definitely been down because look at all the leaves here. And it looks like, oh yeah, this seat's loose. Dude, this has definitely been like windows open. Like, look how rusty that seat is.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think we got it as clean as we can without needing a full detail. But now we're gonna get up on the lift and see what's actually wrong with this thing.
So you seem pretty excited about this flip. What were you expecting to hear from Max after you looked at the car?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was just gonna be some minor cosmetic stuff, maybe a little bit of engine repairs, obviously, but nothing too crazy. You know, mainly I was just really excited because I felt like this was the big break that backroads really needed.
And did it turn out that way?
No.
This thing has been sitting for a long time. Hear all that rust.
Mm-hmm. Is it from the rotors?
Yeah. Everything's here, and it's all stock. That's good. Not too bad down here, though. I mean, for what it is.
How's the rust?
It's not bad. I mean, not for Michigan. You know, I mean, I was able to lift it up from the pinch weld here. That means it's, I mean, it's pretty solid. And a lot of this is just from sitting, which really sucks. Like, if this thing was moving, it wouldn't be this rusty.
What could be causing that, like, motor to not crank?
The engine can be completely locked up. I mean, a piston could be seized. With these cop cars, they were idled a lot. They were driven, but they idled a lot, just sitting there watching cars go by. I know on the Hemis, like, if those would just have so many lifter ticks because they'd just be idling and not a lot of oil would get to the top of the motor. These LSs are better than that, but there still could be this issue. I mean, it could be a worn out cam. Seized to something. To be honest, I mean, it could be so many options. I mean, we're gonna figure out in a second here. So I got the car up on the lift, grabbed my flashlight and looked underneath. You know, I was hoping for, you know, just some rust, you know, just maybe a little corrosion. I mean, nothing crazy, and everything looked perfectly fine. So I got done with that inspection and I walked from the back of the car towards the front. I took one last look at the starter to check the connections, see if it was rusty, and my heart dropped.
What?
Dude, this is bad. This is bad.
Like unsavable?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
There's a hole in the block.
Are you serious?
Literally a straight hole in the block.
No way.
Ready? Come here. You can see right in the motor. Can you see it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna have to do? Get a new block?
Block or motor, yeah. Because there's no saving this. This was the worst engine I've ever seen. I've never seen a hole in the block about this big, and I can't believe that I could see the rod literally sticking out of it. I could literally move the piston around with my finger. I was a mechanic for 4 years. I mean, I would see engines blown up, you know, weekly, and I have never seen an engine quite like this. This changes the build completely. Bare minimum, we're gonna need a block. Hopefully, there's a lot of other parts that are good in this engine, like the heads, some internal stuff. That's just all we can hope for. I'm like 99% sure that this guy knew that there was a hole in the block. Why else would it be sitting for 4 years or whatever it was? I mean, if it was something simple, the guy would have fixed it. If it was a starter, if it was something at the top end, why didn't he do it? I definitely think the guy knew. So that left me with having to call Seth. I was actually pretty nervous because I know how serious of a situation we're in with money, and this could leave us with breaking even and, you know, worse, losing money. Get the boss's word. All right, you got time for a video quick?
Oh boy. How bad is it? Is it good news or bad news?
Extremely bad news. I haven't even seen if it was locked up or not yet. I just got it lifted up and started looking underneath here. You ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Right now we're under the motor. Ready?
No shot.
Dude.
Is that the block?
Yes, I can literally see the crankshaft.
You're lying.
No, I can literally see everything.
So everything in there is probably cooked.
Everything's mangled. I'm hoping maybe like the heads are fine if we can just find a block, you know?
Well, now this is my next question. Do you think this is still profitable?
Yeah.
Did you really believe that it would be possible to save this car and still walk away making money?
Yeah, I believe that we could still make money on this, but it just made this whole process way more difficult. There's absolutely no saving this, so like...
What do you think, like truck engine, put a cam in it, make it sound cool?
Problem is though, if we get just a block, we're still gonna have to buy crank, pistons, all the stuff.
That stuff we probably don't want to buy used.
No, I'll try to find a whole motor. I'll try to find a whole motor and see what we can do.
Yeah, that would be best, because I mean, this is like, we're trying to stay on a budget here.
For sure. I'll start digging and I gotta start pulling this motor.
I still think we can walk away from this making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I was kind of just laughing through the pain, but at this point, I knew this was personally going to cost me thousands more dollars, and I just can't afford to keep throwing money at back roads like this. I was hoping we could just make it out on the other side of this Caprice.
I honestly don't care if they make any money off this piece of shit. I just want this thing out of my shop. Ray Charles could have seen the hole in the block when it was on the trailer.
Dude, you're not even in this video.
If it wasn't already obvious enough how far in over our heads we were, Max showed that the engine was clearly locked up.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
And went ahead and drained the oil to see just how bad it was.
That's water. That's water, dude. That's so milky.
Rub your fingers through.
That's bad.
So if Backroads wanted to have any chance of making money on this car, it was time to get that engine out.
I got my work cut out for me. That left us with just having to pull this motor. We're in a huge time crunch, so we wanted it done as soon as possible, and I was not leaving until this motor was out. During this whole process, we were looking at each component, hoping that it was okay so we can keep saving money on this flip. And just as we were getting started, KM walked in, and it was time to get his reaction to this whole mess. So, you got running? I'll just show you a picture. I didn't even have to do anything yet.
Oh,
Like, that's literally the rod.
right through the block.
Yep, that's the rod right there.
God. How much did you pay for this? $4 grand.
Yeah. I could not believe when I seen that. For a hole that size in the block, I feel like this thing had to be like pushing. I mean, I could put my fingers in there.
I mean, like, I don't know about like regular cop cars, you know, they idle a ton, and if it wasn't getting maintained right, somebody was like, man, we're gonna put sugar in his tank and see how long he can chase us, then go flying by.
I just gotta keep getting to work here. Even though we're trying to save as much as we can, every component we took off, the worse it looked. I'm about to take this intake off, and I have never seen so much corrosion in an engine before. Can you see that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But the water just laid in there.
Oh yeah.
At least it don't look like it's inside.
So I got the intake off to look into the intake ports, hoping that the heads were good, the valves were clean, and there was a layer of corrosion. I have never seen anything like that. We literally had to pull a vacuum out and sweep it all out. I'm gonna pull this valve cover off. I'm just really curious what it looks like. I pulled that driver's side valve cover off with the bolt that was missing. I was expecting it to just look horrible and full of dirt, but I got that off and it actually looked pretty decent. We were actually kind of looking good because maybe these heads were salvageable. I'm about to take this oil pan off so we can start loosening some of these connecting rods and get this motor to spin over so we can get these torque converter bolts disconnected.
How's it going?
It's going. It's tight.
What do you think about this thing?
Terrible.
Dude, get his like raw reaction of this
Where's
whole
it at?
dude.
Oh my gosh,
Look
dude.
through here, Seth. How crazy it is to just hear pieces of piston falling out as you're doing that. Oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Dude, that is crazy.
Is that's literally like the side of the piston right there.
Oh my.
Dude, did you see the piston over here?
Yeah, no, look at this piston. This piston.
Did both of them break?
Yeah, both of them are gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, both of these back rods broke.
How?
That's weird, because it's like not hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's locking us up though.
Yeah, it's hitting the cam.
Let's see if I can move it at all.
Yeah, if we can move it backwards, that'd be good.
Go a little more. Right now, it's jammed up now.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, I'm just glad it hit my hand and not the camera.
Is the camera fine?
Yeah. Heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Are you good?
Yeah.
There's the rod.
Dude, those pistons are destroyed.
It's crazy. She's got compression, dude. She's crunchy.
So at this point, what were you thinking? Were you still confident you could make money on it?
Yes, even though it looked worse than I thought, I made a promise to myself that I was gonna pull us out of this situation no matter what.
I was honestly beginning to kind of lose hope that we would ever make our money back on this car, but Max did seem pretty determined. All I know is that every extra hour they're spending in this shop is cutting into our profits. And instead of this Caprice being the thing that saves back roads, I was starting to think it might run it into the ground.
It is very late. I'm getting very tired, but we're still gonna get this motor out. Just a couple more bolts to get, but it's probably like the hardest bolts on this motor. There's about 4 bell housing bolts I gotta get, and then 2 lines to disconnect and pop this radiator out. And then we should be good to come out, but wow, it is tough and I'm tired, but I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here.
All right, what's been going on?
Well, what's the time? I think last time we checked up was 12, right?
1:47.
And that is how long it took me to separate this motor from the trans. It was so corroded and rusted together. It took an hour and 47 minutes?
Yeah.
This has been probably the worst engine pull of my life and probably will be forever, to be honest with you. But finally it's coming out. A lot of hard work, but we got it. After long hours of trying to get this motor to separate from the transmission, we finally got it out.
Dude. Oh my gosh. I actually can't believe it.
It was 2 a.m. when this thing was out, and I was feeling it. I was happy, I was depressed, I was feeling every emotion you could. Dude, there's literally no way.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
That's insane.
Throw this thing in the trash right now.
Literally going right in the garbage. What do you say, we get some sleep?
Yeah.
And that leaves us with pulling this motor apart and seeing what parts we could use. And this is where it can get expensive quick. If we can't use a lot of this stuff, we won't be able to make money on this flip. All right, now it is time to pull this motor apart and see if there's any salvageable parts that we can sell and make some money back. It's definitely one of the worst LS engines I've ever seen. I'm hoping there's at least some things we can sell. Maybe we can use the heads and just find a block, or maybe we get a whole new motor. This is gonna help us see what direction we're gonna go with this Caprice. So we got started on pulling this motor apart. We got the valve covers off, we got the timing cover off. Oh my gosh. Dude, you smell that? And we got that valley tray cover off. And so far, surprisingly, everything looked good. So I took all the rock arms off, and those actually looked good. I pulled all the push rods out, and I rolled every single one, and none of them were bent, surprisingly. I pulled that passenger side head off. It actually wasn't too bad. I thought it was gonna be full of rust and debris. Then we started looking at all the cylinders. Dude, look how rusty these cylinder walls are. It looked like a valve hit here. So these dots here, a dot should be facing forward on top of the piston. This one's kind of off. Some of the back ones, like I was saying, that are bad. And I knew, because the rod broke, that back piston would be able to be pushed down by my hand. This one I guarantee go up and down right now. Watch. See, these won't budge because they're connected to the crank. And that was true. I've never seen anything like that. That was pretty crazy. Look at this, just film of just rust. This engine has not been turned over in forever. So that left us with having to pull the driver's side head off to see if, they were savable. Oh my gosh.
Dude.
That one was questionable. That back piston hit the top of that head so many times, and that valve. This thing had to have been like fully driving at a high speed, because this piston here, take a look at that. See that dot? It's all the way down, and those marks are from it literally spinning and having the valve hit it. Literally spun, cracked, and the valve hit it that many times. This thing was going fast.
You think this thing was in a police chase when it happened?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely could have been. I just hope that the valve seat was okay. I knew the valve was gonna be bent, but that's replaceable. But the valve seat, you gotta send it to a machine shop, and that's a lot of extra money that we don't need to spend. They're just so rusty. Look at that. That's the one that was bad. Dude, there's literally a smashed spider in here.
No way.
Yeah. That dude was not happy. This being a flip, I know we're trying to save as much money as we can. So I actually wanted to try to rebuild these heads myself. Figured a YouTube video could teach me. It's a very tedious job, but I really thought it was something I could do if everything was good. So I pulled all the lifter trays off and inspected every lifter, and they actually looked good, but we would not be reusing them. With that DoD system, the lifters actually collapse, and that's how it shuts down half of the cylinders. And on our next engine, we do not want that. All right, next was pulling this cam out, and I was just ready to unbolt the cam plate and pull it out, nothing crazy. So I took the cam gear off and noticed that the alignment pin on the cam was broke. So that cam was not savable. So it literally stopped so quick that this chain spun. It's all out of timing now. This engine definitely grenaded at high RPMs. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It didn't just fire up and break like hydro lock or anything. Definitely was an either high speed chase or someone just bought this after and beat the crap out of it. And next was getting that cam plate. I spent well over an hour just trying to get 2 of the bolts on that cam plate broke free. I started with, just a ratchet. Twisted the socket, dude. Then I worked out my way up to an impact. I'm gonna try to go forward and break it free. Then I brought some heat in. Please, please, please. I cleared her right off, dude.
Stripped?
Yeah.
Damn.
So then I actually cut a slit on the bolt to try to get a flat head in there and a wrench. I'm gonna try to hammer into it and break some of the stuff loose, like the threads possibly, or whatever's holding it up. Oh my gosh, that didn't work. So I brought out a cutting tool and I wore that down to completely nothing. So I had to go get another cutting tool. We're not toying around this time. This time we're getting this cam out. And this one was serious. So that actually worked, and I cut that down the left side completely, and I broke that cam plate off.
Nice.
And pulled that cam out. It doesn't get much worse than this. This has to be one of the worst LS engines like ever. Now we're gonna flip this over and start taking the pistons out, and we're gonna hope that this crank is good so we can possibly use it. Are you kidding me, dude? I just mopped this. Pulled all the pistons out. They were just as rough as we thought. None of them were savable. Look at that rust. That ring is stuck too. See that? With all those pistons out, I wanted to see how free this crank spun over and see if it was bent at all. As bad as that is, we just want to see if this looks fine. All the bearings actually seemed like perfect for these rods too, so that's all in good shape. Let's just take a look at this. See how good that flows actually? It's gonna take a lot for this thing to make like a wobble, but I wanted to see if it would even like spin freely and everything. So I spun it over by hand with a ratchet and it actually looked perfect and it spun great. So all said and done, it looks like just that crank was good and the heads were possibly savable.
Now to decide how this build would go, we had to meet 3 criteria. It had to be an LS, be as cheap as possible, and require little to no fabrication on our end. So we had a few different options.
We could try to find an original L77 so that everything would match up perfectly.
But locating one would be extremely difficult considering how rare they are.
We do have the LS7 from the Corvette laying around that we could use.
All right, I'll admit using the LS7 would have been sick, but we are trying to minimize our cost here, and that engine is worth almost double what we paid for the Caprice. So that was a no.
Our best option would be to find a 6-liter iron block out of a truck. They're cheap, they're reliable, and they're solid.
And that was definitely my favorite option because for cheap, we could still have a cool and fun car, and we might even be able to walk away from it making a little bit of money still.
I found a Gen 4 6-liter iron block on Marketplace that came with a lot of extra parts, and the total was $600. And at the end of this video, we're gonna add up our total costs and show you how much we spent on this car. So the reason why we needed a Gen 4 is that it had a 58 tooth reluctor wheel crank. Previous generations were 24 tooth, so that's why we had to go with a 58 tooth. The ECU on the Caprice wouldn't have even worked with a 24 tooth. So we got the block back to the shop, I flipped it over, and the guy lied. It actually had a Gen 3 or previous generation crank in it with a 24 tooth reluctor wheel. And on top of it not being the right crank, I went to spin it over and it was completely locked up. Luckily for us, we had the 58 tooth reluctor wheel crank from the old engine. I checked everything and it actually looked perfect. Nothing was bent, nothing was scratched. It looked great. So we took all the pistons out, we got the original crank in, and we torqued everything to spec, and it spun great. The reason why it didn't spin before is the guy had the main caps way too tight on the rods. So we kind of got scammed again, but luckily we were able to save it with that old crank. So with all the pistons out and having to swap the crank, we had it down to a bare block. So that means that going back together, we have literally touched every single bolt on this car, and I have never built an engine from the bottom up before. I understand completely how an engine works, but I have never built an engine like this. I headed over to Michigan Motorsports and I got a lot of parts, and I'll explain everything as we go together. So I got this cam. I talked to the guys over at Michigan Motorsports on what our best option would be with this build. I told them I wanted some chop and I also wanted some horsepower gain. Don't get much better looking than that. First things first, you gotta lube this thing up like crazy. For the first startup, you know, you can't have a dry camshaft. I feel like this should not be on YouTube. After the cam was in, I had to put the cam plate on and the timing gears and the oil pump. And all that was included with the block that we bought. After I got that all timed and all the gears on, I spun it over and made sure it was all free. I flipped the motor over and started working from the bottom. I got the windage tray on and I got the pickup tube on. And both of those were from the guy that sold us the block. We actually got 317 heads from the guy that sold us the iron block, but those were the truck heads and their cathedral port. And we were not about to buy a different intake. So our only option was to rebuild the 823 original heads. So I watched a quick YouTube video on rebuilding LS heads, and I felt pretty confident. So I started off with cleaning the heads with a Scotch-Brite pad and scraping off all the gasket surfaces. And after I got those all cleaned up, they actually turned out really good. So next was getting these valves out, and I used a wrench to collapse the springs and get the keepers out. So I took every valve out and inspected every single one, and I inspected all the valve guides by putting the valve in backwards and making sure there was no wobble. There were a couple valves that were just too far gone with rust, and also there was an exhaust and intake one that was bent from the piston hitting it too much. After getting our valve situation figured out and figuring out how many new ones we needed, it was time to lap the valves. Lapping the valve means that you take a valve lapping compound and you put a little bit around the valve and you spin them until it makes a perfect seal for the valve and the valve seat. After lapping all 32 valves, I felt confident enough that they were going to seal. So it was time to put the new valves in with brand new valve seals and brand new springs from Michigan Motorsports. With all those parts in, next was making sure that it sealed perfectly. So I threw all the spark plugs in and I poured water over all the valves. And the reason for that is to make make sure that there are no bubbles and the water level isn't going down. And after letting the water sit for a little bit, the water levels were perfect and there were no bubbles. And to be 100% confident that these seal perfectly, I blew compressed air into each intake port and exhaust port. And after doing that, there were no signs of bubbles or any leakage. That means that the valves are sealing perfectly. So the heads were done, and next was to move on to the lifters. I got brand new LS7 lifters and lifter trays from Michigan Motorsports. After getting the lifters installed, it was time to throw on the heads. So I installed brand new head gaskets, our freshly rebuilt heads, and brand new head bolts. Next was throwing on our push rods from Michigan Motorsports. So after the push rods were in, it was time to throw on rocker arms. So we actually got rocker arms from the guy that sold us the block, but once again he lied and those were for a completely different engine. Because those were wrong, our only option was to throw on the original rocker arms. With the valve train completely done, it was time to throw on the valve cover gaskets. And those were a little too corroded to throw on, so I took a Scotch-Brite pad and cleaned them up. Luckily we got valve cover bolts from the guy that sold us the block, so we're not missing any anymore. I got a brand new timing cover and gasket from O'Reilly's. We got an oil pan from the guy that sold us the block, and it was out of a 2002 Chevy Camaro. Finally, I installed a brand new main seal and gasket from O'Reilly's. So for my bare block, I built us a cheap LS that should save this flip.
But the real question is, would it not only fit perfectly into the car, but would it run?
How confident are you feeling right now? I'm confident this thing's gonna fire up. It's gonna be totally fine. What I'm not confident, as I'll be honest, is the fuel pump. It's been sitting in that tank for who knows how long. Okay. We'll see though. Yeah. We'll see.
That dude was like nice or whatever, but he freaking smelled like weed and he scammed us. Yeah. So
I can promise you though, we'll never make that mistake again. We'll check every engine block in every car we buy now.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I mean, this is the hard lessons we're gonna have to learn if we wanna make this happen, I guess.
There really is only one way to learn, and it's the hard way.
Yeah.
It really is. He had to have known. He had to have known.
Dude, he knew.
There's just no way.
He knew. Maybe he didn't. Honestly, man, you're probably watching this. We're not gonna let you stop us. Oh yeah, guys. So it's definitely been a journey, but we're gonna get this done. We're gonna make it happen. Let's freaking do it, dude. Dude, this looks tight, dude.
Yeah.
The Corvette engine bay is probably double the size of this.
Yeah.
Max said he literally might cry when this engine gets in.
I'll cry on camera if it runs good.
What if it runs bad? Will you also cry?
Yeah.
I mean, I was excited. Max was super excited. This was a big moment because for the first time since buying this car and getting scammed, we were actually making progress. We were actually putting the car back together and getting somewhere. It was exciting.
Looking good
so far.
Do you see where we gotta line the motor mounts up to?
Yeah, gotta go down a little more before we can start going back. Okay, okay, if you lower it, I can line up this motor mount right
Okay,
here.
how does the back look? Is it fine?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get these like just in these holes.
Yep.
There you go.
They're in? Yep. This looks sweet in here.
Yeah, look, the engine block literally matches the shirts, dude.
Yeah. What's it, the saying? 1,000 horsepower means
Red block.
Yeah.
If you guys want to be 1,000 horsepower, go buy a shirt, backroadsgarage.shop, because we just got scammed and we need some money. For how tight this engine bay is, like I thought it was going to be a pain. Those motor mounts, they slipped right where we needed them to.
So the motor was in the car, but we still had to get the alignment pins lined up. Alignment pins are 2 pins on the back of the motor, while the transmission has 2 holes for those pins to slide into.
Do you think you know how we need to wiggle this around and stuff to get it right?
So this needs to come up, so I'm wondering if...
Are you ready?
I'm sure that. I don't know if that'll work though. Never mind. Oh, we're close.
Are we?
Yeah, on this side at least. Dude, we are close. Alright, well that's good. So let me see what this side needs to do. I've been feeling this side needs to come down because it looks like it's a little high.
We can't put any bolts in anyway on this side.
I could maybe get one if I have like a super long extension and a swivel. I can try.
So basically we were able to get the alignment pin into the transmission on one side, but we couldn't get the other side in. On the side that was in, we had to hold constant pressure on it, so we couldn't really put pressure on the other side or this side would pop out. So our plan was to use one of the bell housing bolts that connects the engine to the transmission to hold us in place on the pin that was getting connected. That way we could focus on the other side and have pressure over here while we're pushing this side in. The only issue was that the bell housing bolts were in a very hard to reach spot and it was tight, so it was going to be a struggle to get them in.
You're so cross-threaded. I got the bolt. Dude, I can't get this started. Not while I'm trying to push this in at the same time. Engine needs to drop a little bit.
Okay.
Like a little bit, tiniest bit. All right. Plan B, take out the motor mounts so we have more room to work with and see if that can't be the difference that helps us get these alignment pins where they need to be.
So if you guys are confused, basically how the engine fits into the car, it rests on motor mounts. And then on the back of the engine, there's the alignment pins that connect to the transmission. The engine has to come in, down onto the motor mounts. The alignment pins push in on the back. The only issue for us to reach the alignment pins, we had to go a little lower than where the motor mounts were. We were hitting the motor mounts and we were unable to push into the alignment pins because we could not get low enough. So we removed the motor mounts to be able to try again so that we could have a better chance at pushing into those alignment pins.
Go for that same one we were going for earlier.
You're able to get it up there though, right?
Maybe, hand me that.
Oh, it started.
Like,
It actually started.
like started?
Yeah, like I can't move it with my finger anymore.
Okay. We actually got it started, I think.
Now, like I said, it was a tight squeeze to try and get these bell housing bolts in, so tight that I couldn't even fit a wrench back to where I needed to get them. So Max actually had to go underneath the car and hand me a wrench up to where the bolt was so that I could try and tighten this thing.
Let me know when I'm on it.
All right, hold on, you're not on it. Okay, that's on right there.
All right, if it's getting tight, then don't want it too tight.
Yeah. After a little bit of a battle, we seem to have one of our bell housing bolts on and our pin pushed in halfway on the driver's side. Hope is now that side can kind of be where we need it to. As we lower this, we can push the other pin into place.
Could you come down with it a little bit?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, like, little.
Dude, I feel like that was definitely it.
Yeah, see how solid it is now?
Oh yeah.
I believe we're in. I'll go down there and see if I can start another one.
Yeah.
I went under the car and finally everything was in place. So I threw in another bell housing bolt to tighten everything up.
Can I let go?
Yeah, let go, you're good.
Sweet. We are nice and snug. We still have a few more to go, but
yeah,
everything's in place, everything's tight, everything's snug.
So after that, all we had to do was reattach the motor mounts and we would finally be able to put our new engine in this car.
Yep.
Jeez. You were lucky, dude. That could have smashed your hand so bad.
Unfortunately, after this point, I had to leave, but I was feeling pretty confident and I think Max was too, so he could handle the rest.
Boom.
The engine is in. I actually never thought this day would come. It actually looks pretty good in here. Yeah, that red block looks good. I was questioning that, if it would look good or not.
Wait, you didn't paint it, did you?
No, it was like that. I think it fits it pretty well, actually.
I was gonna say, you went out of your way to paint the block for this car?
No, I was almost gonna paint it black because I feel like the red was a little too much, but I think red means horsepower.
All right.
After hours and hours of work and doubt and blood, sweat, and tears, I cannot believe that this engine is in this car. And after all this work, I feel like it's starting to pay off.
But that feeling didn't last long, did it?
No, we are about to run into the biggest issue since the hole in the block. All right, I got all the bell housing bolts tight. I got all the motor mounts tight. Now we get the flex plate bolted up to the torque converter. You gotta spin the engine over while also tightening this, and there's 3 of them, so you gotta spin it to each spot. Keep chugging along here and get this thing bolted up and ready to go. All right, we're having a problem here with spinning the motor over. I don't know why. I spun it over a second ago and it was totally fine. I bolted one bolt to the torque converter and now it's like locked up. I don't know why. It's in neutral. We got it neutral. The transmission spins in neutral. We've got it to budge, but like, I don't know, it's not moving. I can't tell if it's something we did or something in the motor. It's definitely a little concerning. I see nothing. Let me see if I can go back, reverse.
That's a lot better.
No, right there, it gets tight again. Oh, it kind of broke free right there a little bit. A little crunchy. Ooh. Comes to a complete stop.
What could that be?
Oh, something does not feel good right there.
Oh. Like dead stop. Like you hear the metal almost like touching?
Yeah, that's a dead stop. Right there.
Yeah, you hear that?
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, that does not sound good.
Let me take these bolts off.
And then try it again?
Yeah. I was turning the motor over to get the torque converter bolts. I got one in and I went to get another one in and the engine completely locked up. Now, I did not thread the first bolt all the way, so I was hoping that that was hitting something and that was completely locking us up. I'm just really hoping it's something small and stupid, because if it's something in the motor, we have to take it back out and tear it all apart again. All right, I got all of the bolts off again. I am praying right now that we can spin this motor over 360 degrees. Something else is just back here, like bolted on wrong or something. And of course, it was something in the motor.
Do we have to take the motor out again?
I don't know. I did some investigating off camera, and luckily I was able to figure the issue out.
What up, guys? I'm back. Where did we leave off with this?
Last thing that you guys seen, it was locked up and we did not know why. I did figure it out, so I guess I should just show that.
It's like probably best case scenario for a locked up engine.
When I put this together and I spun it over, I didn't have the windage tray on or the oil pan on yet. I just spun it over and it was perfect. So I didn't think anything of it. I heard the noise on the bottom end. That's when I started digging in here. Ready?
Yeah, you can see right where it hits it.
It was locked up because our crank was hitting the windage tray, which was good for us because it could have been a lot worse. I did have to like tap on the windage tray to bend it in place. That's probably why
Just tap on
that's hitting, but I had to do that for the oil pan to fit. So we got a windage tray for this oil pan and it should be good now. All right, so we got our new one here. That oil pan, after looking at the part numbers, for a 2002 Camaro with LS1. So, and I believe that other one was for a truck. I know I said that, but this is out of a 2002 Camaro as well. Hoping that this will clear the crank and also clear the oil pan. I mean, it's shiny. But what is weird is this doesn't go the whole distance too, and I think that's why we're having the issue. See how much smaller this one is?
Oh yeah.
I think that's the issue we were running into. That's why we had to hammer the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For that other oil pan, it's so much smaller that you're not able to fit anything up front there. Yeah. And then now it definitely won't hit the crank up there, so we're good to go. Let's spin it over and just double check here. I don't see how it's not gonna work.
Oh yeah. Already can tell.
Appreciate the full rotation right there. All right, let's get this thing together and get this thing fired up. So with nothing holding us back, it was time to get this car put back together. So I got started with connecting our sensors underneath and then attaching our starters. The next was getting our manifold bolted up with brand new bolts and gaskets. This engine bay was a little tight, so that made this job a little difficult. So then I got the AC compressor attached to the motor. Next was getting this radiator in place and bolted up. Then we got our water pump bolted on. Everything was going really smooth until I went to try to bolt the alternator in. So the reason why I actually couldn't figure it out is because I looked at the old block and there should be a hole like there is down here, up here to thread in. See, it should bolt in like this. All right, so here's exactly what I'm talking about. Right here and right here are those holes, and then here's this one. So we have this one, but these two we don't. So this one and this one is what we don't have. It's fixable. We can get this figured out. We're going to get it figured out. We're gonna have to drill.
So you're gonna thread it yourself.
We're gonna have to drill it and tap
two
it.
bolts.
Yeah, and then there's also another one that goes from here to over here. So we'll have 3 spots where there should be 4.
Okay.
It'll hold. Yeah, we'll be good. Yeah, that's why I spent probably 30 minutes trying to figure out why this won't fit.
All right, well.
Start drilling.
That's your call, man.
There's no other option. It's kind of funny how I had to build a new motor because the last one had a hole in it. And now I'm drilling a hole in this one on purpose. This is very risky because if I don't drill this right the first time, then it won't work at all. If I drill this at the wrong angle, it won't bolt up right. And worse, I could even drill into something I'm not supposed to. There's 3 points where this alternator will mount. So 2 of those I got bolted up and I got it perfectly where it needs to be. So I know exactly where I need to drill. So I got this mounted up in the bottom here and in the back here. I'm not comfortable with just 2 mounts. This would usually be mounted 4 ways. I just want to mount it 3 ways because that's the best we can do. We got a drill bit here. I just want to see if it's long enough. Okay, yeah, it's long enough to just get it started. But the issue we're gonna have, and I know I just installed it, we're gonna run into this radiator, so it's probably gonna have to come back out. It's not a huge deal, but just a little annoying. These are the parts that are really frustrating with trying to get a motor in a car where it's not supposed to be. You can work ahead all you want, there's always gonna be something that's gonna throw you farther back.
You sure you got it?
Watch this, dude.
Come on, you got it. Oh wow.
So that's enough messing around with the radiator. Let's not mess up drilling this hole. All right, look at all this room now. I'm liking that. I'm gonna go in a little bit straight, then I'll take this back off, and then I'm gonna go over to the old block with an old bolt and see how far it goes in, make a mark, and then I'm gonna make a mark on the drill bit so I know how far to go in, because I don't wanna go too far, that'd be bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So we're actually in there pretty far, to be honest with you. I'm really happy with that. It's pretty centered. Looks pretty factory to me, honestly. I don't think anyone's gonna even know. What we'll do is we'll get our measurement and then we'll keep drilling and tap it. I'm actually happy with this.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. All right, that's the end right there. So now what you wanna do is wrap this tape around this bolt here. And we'll measure that to the drill bit, but that's our exact length we need to go in so we have the right amount of threads. Then come up to our drill bit here, right there. So looking like the tape's about to hit. Come onto her drill bit, put that tape right there. So now what we're gonna drill up to that point, so we'll know the exact length. I think I'm gonna get that smaller drill bit. It's going smooth.
Is it getting harder while it's going in?
Yeah, it'll just be smoother. I'm not gonna risk it. All right, we got a smaller drill bit. I'm probably gonna go up one more size, and then I'll go to the final size.
You're good.
Okay. All right, step one. So I'm gonna blow this hole out, get all the shavings out, put some like PB Blaster, WD-40 in there, and just slowly tap it. I gotta do this right. Got one shot at this. I just can't mess it up. You wanna go in and out too, to just make sure the threads are good and to get the shavings just kind of moved around. You don't wanna pile all the shavings right at the end. That's it right there. I got the hole drilled and I got it tapped and the bolt threaded in perfect. So now this alternator was completely bolted up fine. 1 out of 10. Do you think this thing's gonna fire up?
I'll give it a 7.
Thank you.
Is it gonna drive okay? I don't know.
I'm just worried about it running right now. I have nothing in my head where I'm like, it's not gonna run, but you just don't know.
What do you think out of 10?
9.
Okay.
I'm confident. So we got a list together of everything that needs to be done until we get this thing started. We started checking stuff off and making this engine bay look a lot more complete. All right, I'm gonna get this intake cleaned up. This thing is an absolute disaster. I'm gonna get new intake gaskets on, all these leaves cleaned up, make sure all the injectors are sealed perfect. I just went to flip this thing over and so much water and oil just fell out. So I'm gonna go dump this all out back here. I knew there was a little bit of oil, but I did not know it was this bad. So next was getting this intake on, and I noticed it was completely full of oil. So I actually put it outside, upside down, and let a lot drain out. That was a lot of water and oil. Felt all in my sleeve, dude.
Oh, down it? Oh.
Yeah. When I got it back inside, I shined a flashlight inside, and wow, was it dirty. Dude.
Is that metal shavings?
It's a piece of metal from the motor blowing up.
Are you serious?
In the intake. All right, well I can't do that. I gotta dig through this.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no more, of course.
You think you're gonna need a new one?
So I actually got a phone call from Max and he went ahead and told me how filthy this intake was and he wasn't even sure if we could really use it. There was a bunch of oil and there's even pieces of piston. Yeah, there's more in here. Look at that.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yep. These all look bad.
That's like really risky.
Yeah.
Like extremely risky. What if you literally miss one piece?
Let me just see what I can do here. I knew this was possibly savable, but I didn't know if it was worth the risk, because if we miss a piece of metal or even a bunch of dirt and it sucks it into this motor, it could completely ruin it. But at this point, I did not want to spend another penny, and if there was any chance this intake was savable, I wanted to take that risk.
Anything?
It's just really dirty, like bad. See how glittery it all is?
It is glittery, but it looks sandy too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just because there was a hole in the piston, so there's pumping oil up through the intake.
Well, there's metal shavings in it too.
Yeah, well, it looks like there's some metal shavings, and then also I found 2 chunks of piston in there.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Problem is how the hell you clean it out.
I know.
Because you know all that shit.
I talked to Seth and we both agreed that it was the smartest decision to get it cleaned up the best we could to see if we can get all the dirt and pieces of metal out. So I took it to a car wash station, I degreased it, and I power washed it the best I could, and after I got it back to the shop and I dried it up, it almost looked brand new inside. So I wanted to get all the gas out of the gas tank, because for all we know, it sat for 3 years and the fuel smelled pretty bad. The gas tank is way too hard to drop right now, so my plan is to drain it from here. I also don't know how much fuel is in it. I hope it's not a full tank. This has been sitting for probably 3 to maybe even 5 years, so I don't even want to attempt to use this fuel. I want to hear this thing run good and strong and feel confident about it. There's a couple ways you can drain it. You can pull the tank down, but the tank was really hard to get to on this. So the next thing was trying to get to the fuse and just putting power straight to the pump. I'm gonna try to take it off from here and then hose clamp a hose right onto here and have it run down to a gas can so that it can be filmed, and also we don't need 2 people. I found this line. It's definitely overkill and really big, but I don't think there's gonna be much pressure coming out of the fuel pump right now, so we should be fine. Got this new battery here. This was actually out of the Volvo. I'm gonna plug it in here so we can have power to turn on this fuel pump, hopefully.
Oh, yep, it worked.
All right, it says it's January 1st, 2009. I hear the fuel pump.
Oh, yeah, it's going.
Really?
Yeah. You got it. Nothing's happening.
I could not find a fuel pump fuse on this. So I figured out there's actually no fuel pump fuse. It's actually like a whole fuel pump module in the back. I don't know if it's because of the cop car or what, but it seemed like a lot of work just to put power to and run this tank. I probably spent like 40 minutes trying to figure out a fuel pump fuse or how to get power. That whole time, cameraman was cycling the key on and off, and we probably drained a quarter of a gallon of fuel in 40 minutes. If we go try to light this, and if it lights, we'll be good. It smells okay, it smells a little old, but if it lights, we're gonna call it, and we'll put some fresh fuel in it and mix it in. So I took some of the gas out back and I poured it on the ground. Okay, this lights, we're gonna call it. All right. We're good. And it actually lit perfectly fine, so I was confident that this gas would somewhat work. I'm not gonna try to drain that fuel anymore. It's obviously fine. It'll run a little rough at first or something, but I think that's the least of our worries is that fuel. I figured we would go get some fresh gas and pour it in the gas tank and kind of dilute the old fuel. It was time to throw our cleaned intake on, but it needed brand new gaskets, so I got some from O'Reilly's and threw them on. So I put the throttle body back on and we bolted it on the engine. And once the intake was on, Seth showed up to help us check stuff off the list.
All right, guys, so I finally got all the work done, got the engine in, disconnected the intake, and Max showed up, helped me get a little bit of stuff done right before we get this thing running.
Yeah, it's been pretty easy.
Yeah.
What's next?
I was actually gonna ask you because I was gonna see if you knew what you were talking about. I know, I just don't wanna ruin. Yeah. So what were you thinking? And I'll tell you if you're right or not.
Putting this power steering line on.
Yep.
Right here with new copper washers.
There you go.
So me and Zane gave a rating like out of 10. How confident are you in this thing firing up?
Don't tell me yours yet.
Okay.
I've watched a little bit of the raw footage. I have heard stuff. 6.8.
Zane's was 7, mine is 9.
Well, I like that yours is 9 because you're the one that did everything. So
we were getting down to our last couple things, and one of them was the dipstick. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was gonna be a super small job, just sliding it in place. But as soon as we started doing that, we realized it was not going where we needed it to go.
that dipstick has proven to be a harder job than we thought. So Max is actually going to be taking off a couple more of the bolts on the manifold. We cut the camera because we were sitting there for like good 10 minutes just wiggling this thing around trying to get in there. Won't budge.
The stupid dipstick.
I don't know if the holes were different from the iron block to the L77. This original dipstick was not gonna work. This just doesn't even seem like it would fit in here. Like I'm down there. I got it down farther, but it still doesn't look like it's like fitting correctly.
So this is the dipstick from the original engine.
Correct.
So is there a chance it couldn't fit?
Ooh, you know what? This is a truck motor.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, dude. I don't know how this got in here. A dipstick, dude. Really? That's what's catching us up right now. We have this whole Frankenstein engine.
I think every single part on this car has stopped us.
I know, dude.
Luckily enough, we didn't have to order anything new because Max actually had his 5.3 LS sitting in the shop that we were gonna put in his Volvo 240 wagon.
So I figured since it was a truck motor and I had a truck 5.3 that was going in my car, that we should try that dipstick. That dipstick seems really long.
It was sticking up a lot higher, I feel like. We might have to cut a hole in the hood for the dipstick to poke up.
And after some messing with it, wiggling it around and getting it in the right place, we actually were able to make this thing work.
We're in?
Yeah, does it bolt up? Would it bolt up to a spot up there?
It should bolt up.
Okay.
Or be close enough. It looks a little goofy, I'm not gonna lie, but we have a dipstick and that's all that matters.
Honestly, we don't know if it reads 100% correctly. And yeah, maybe the dipstick does look a little odd in the engine bay. It's like 5 inches above the actual engine.
This is our final dipstick placement right here. It's out there, man. It's like you're barely gonna clear the hood. I mean, it'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It just doesn't make any sense to me why the other one didn't work, but this one fell right into place. So it's just meant to be.
It does its job.
You know, I have a
hopefully.
feeling this fit because it wasn't supposed to be on the Volvo.
All right, Maxwell, what's next? What can I get started on?
You can do the other side coil pack.
Okay, gotcha.
We had a small issue trying to connect the O2 sensor plug. This one here, I'm gonna hand up to you through here.
Okay.
You don't have to plug it in, but if you can.
Gotcha. Almost. Hold on. Is that all the way it comes up?
It wasn't reaching. I don't know if it was the way we routed the wiring harness, but I'm pretty sure it had it all stock.
Is it not even close?
No. We're having a little bit of an issue where this plug is like 2 inches away from the socket. It's not reaching. Not even close.
Yeah, that's all the way down here.
Shoot.
With some strategic pulling and yanking, I was able to get them to connect. Hopefully that wouldn't come back and have any problems we'd run into later, but hey, I mean, it was plugged in for now and that's all that matters.
I got it.
Nice.
Oh, that was tight.
For like the 4th time, I got the radiator back in place, all the lines connected, and everything bolted up.
And then one of the most important parts of getting this car running properly, we had to get it tuned. So luckily enough for us, our tuner had just showed up.
Look who we just found. Not editor Jake today.
Tuner Jake.
Tuner Jake, and he got a fresh haircut.
Yep, that's right. It's editor Jake. We figured if he's good in the computer that he could tune a car.
Our tuner was editor Jake, who has never tuned a car before.
He actually does a little bit on the side, I guess, with transmissions and DOD deletes, but he has no idea how to actually tune a car.
You've been doing mainly transmissions though?
Yeah.
But he did say DOD deletes.
I do DOD deletes, and I change lockup on TCC slips from 3rd gear to 5th gear. Adjust shift timing, shift pressures, things like that.
He's more qualified than any of us, so I think this is our best bet here.
I figured with some YouTube and ChatGPT, he could at least get somewhere.
We all gave our answers. I'm not gonna tell you what we said, but I wanna hear yours. What do you think the odds are this thing actually like starts up and runs? Out of 10, 1 out of 10. Genuinely.
8.5.
He's confident. You gave the highest answer other than Max.
Final thing in the engine bay is getting the air filter on.
Does this
and the
feel
air
real?
ducting. No, it does not.
All right, we just hooked up the OBD2. Today we're gonna be using HP tuners. Obviously, like I said, this is gonna be my first time like tuning a car like this. I first just need to download the ECM, TCM, and whatever different type of cards are in this car. After that, we'll work on it offline. Change a whole bunch of things. We might use some AI to help us, but then we flash it.
It was time to finally try to start this car. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous.
We were all honestly very, very nervous.
Not only are we about to start this Caprice for the first time, but in the 6 months we've had this YouTube channel, we have not put anything back together and had it running again. I mean, this is a historical moment for Backroads Garage.
Yeah.
The only running vehicles we've had was the Toy Story truck and the van.
I have touched every nut and bolt inside and outside of this car.
You built this thing like from scratch, basically. Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Once again, I've never done anything remotely close to this. I struggled with a lot of things, but I figured it all out. There was nothing in my mind that was saying that something is gonna go wrong. It's just very scary. I'm gonna disconnect these connectors just so we disconnect the spark. I don't want this thing to start quite yet. I just want to hear it turn over, make sure it all sounds good, and also get the oil primed up. All right, keys on.
All right.
I had a knot in my stomach and I could not wait at the same time for Max to crank this over for the first time and see what would happen.
I'm gonna turn it over.
All right. Everything seems good out here so far.
That sounded good.
Yeah.
The first start, you're probably gonna hear like some ticks. It keeps going, then there's something wrong. But if for the first like couple seconds, it's probably just the lifters.
Okay. Everything is plugged in. We're gonna open up the doors because we're expecting this thing to smoke. Let's hope everything goes smooth.
So we plugged in the coil packs, and it was time to actually try to start this.
And when he did, I actually started to get a little bit of hope for the first time in a long time.
All right, ready?
Yes, everything's ready.
3, 2, 1. So we turned the key and it made a little bit of noise. It didn't sound great, but it was something. I just don't think it's getting enough fuel, but it started.
It did, yeah.
I'll try it one more time, ready? I just think it's this tune. I'll try a little more. I feel like the battery might be kind of getting low.
Okay.
I'll keep trying, right?
Yep.
Oh. Tried again, and it sounded a little bit better, but it only would run for a couple seconds. And we did not tune it yet. We just wanted to see if it would do anything. For this cam, we need way more fuel. This ECU is probably like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And we need to probably flash that DOD. That second time it kind of fired up for a second, I didn't hear that lifter, that tick, did you? No. Okay, so I rebuilt the motor and it kind of runs. Yeah. All right, wow.
Tuner Jake, what are we thinking right now?
I don't know exactly what's going on, but oil pressure looks good. You can see down here, Every time we cranked it, we jumped up to 40, I think 43 PSI at one point. We're looking decent on oil pressure, so I know nothing's going wrong there.
So next was doing the DOD delete and watching a YouTube video to try to get some of our numbers somewhere to see if it would change it.
So we're gonna just look up a YouTube video, follow a basic tune.
Right here, C6 Corvette idle tuning after cam and header swap with HB tuning.
Sounds close enough. So
right.
We're gonna check back in after we do this and explain exactly what we did.
So we made some changes to the idle percentage. We increased that to 3.5%. And then we also adjusted the airflow percentage of like when it's idling and everything like that. And we also lowered down the amount of spark that the spark plugs gives.
That's what the YouTube video said to do, and like I've never even seen what tuning looks like, but it is complicated. Like I can see why people go to school to learn how to do this. So.
And what we did was literally like the most basic stuff you could do.
To try to get it to the point that the car will idle.
Yeah. Everything's getting downloaded in there, flashing or whatever it's called. About to go ahead and give this another go.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
No way.
We actually got the car to start.
Not great, but it idled and I felt very happy.
It's missing, but it's running.
It wasn't running good. It sounded horrible. It was misfiring like crazy. But bottom line is this engine was technically running.
It's like Smokey Jr. over here, dude. Give it a little throttle, or is that a bad idea? I smell all kinds of weird stuff.
Smell like someone just started up a snowmobile.
Bad gas.
That is weird.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, it smells like broccoli, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a weird smell.
I wish you guys could be here to understand. Like, that's gonna be the worst fuel I've ever smelled in my life. It smells like broccoli and like sulfur, but like a little bit of gas in there.
I mean, if we have our numbers off, it's just not gonna run right.
But it won't make it miss though, will it?
I mean, it could. We have no idea. We never started this before, so there could be 3 coil packs bad. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, yeah.
If this is a 0, it means it's not misfiring, and I think if it goes to a 1, it means it's misfiring.
Like it's counting the
Or
misfire.
yeah, I think it also counts misfires. Yes.
Okay.
5
Oh, yeah.
and 3.
Okay, so right now we're having a problem with cylinder 5.
Max was feeling the engine, and on the passenger side, everything was warm.
This whole passenger side here, all of the exhaust ports on the manifold are extremely hot. These ones over here are just warm. So I think we're just actually having an issue with just the driver's side right now. It's not just coincidence that all the plugs would be fouled on the left side or all the injectors don't work. So I knew that there's probably one small issue causing the driver's side bank not to fire.
I didn't think it was gonna stop us, but we now had another hurdle that we needed to jump over to get this car gone and see if we would, make anything or even be able to break even.
All right guys, it is now the next day, and the last you've seen, this was not running all right. We were really focused on cylinder 5 because that is what the computer was telling us. But I actually had it running and idling enough to where it was just, it was missing horrible, just like you guys heard. But I came over here and I unplugged all 4 of these coil packs and it didn't change a thing. That actually made me feel better, I'm not gonna lie, because I knew there's probably an issue. It wasn't coincidence that there'd be no compression on all 4 cylinders or something like that. So I tested power at this connector and there was power. I tested power to all 4 coil packs and there was power. And I tested power to all 4 injectors and there was power. So what I did was I unplugged the spark plug wire and I held it to, any piece of metal, even the spark plug. There's no spark, none at all, even though there was power going to this. So that left me to a grounding issue. That left me with wondering what was the grounding issue, because I know I put the ground on in the back, but I reached back there and felt it. I have the nut on and I have what you'd call like the eyelet or whatever on. But if you remember when me and Seth were trying to get the oxygen sensor plugged in, it broke free and we were able to reach it somehow. And that was actually because we broke the ground. So here is that bolt and here's the end of that ground that broke off right there. Nothing major, just wish we found that sooner. I kind of pulled this back and cut it back. What I'm gonna do is actually extend that wire just a little bit with some of this here. And then on the end of this, I'm gonna put this, I think it's called an eyelet, I don't know, but there's an eyelet and then that'll fit this bolt perfect. We got everything connected, the ground on. There's nothing else to do than to try to fire it up right now and just hope that ground fixed everything. Ready?
Yes.
All right, this is big, this is big. I went to fire it up, and for the first time, it actually sounded like somewhat of a V8. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. That sounds a million times better. Wait till this idle slows down and you're gonna hear this thing chop.
All right.
There was still definitely an issue, probably fouled a bunch of plugs, but it was running and I could have almost cried. That exhaust sounds horrible, dude. And I mean, there was doubt in my head. I'm sure there was doubt in everyone's head, but I got this thing to fire up and it sounded great. The muffler sounded horrible, but it even chopped and there's no noises in the engine. The next thing we gotta do is cut these mufflers off. I cannot stand how it sounds, how quiet it is. Look at that. All right, mufflers are off. Let's hear this thing. Hopefully it's a little louder and sounds a little better.
That's not way better. A lot better.
Dude. After we got those mufflers off, I checked the transmission fluid to make sure it's at the right level, and the level was perfect, so it was time to put this thing in gear and see if the transmission was okay. Reverse. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Drive. Oh yeah, she's in. Transmission seems good.
Right.
I say we get this thing outside and listen
ready
to
go
it.
on the road?
I say let's just get it outside first. All right, the last we know, this car hasn't moved since 2022. It's been 3 years. I mean, it could be 5. I don't know when this engine blew up, but it's about to move under its own power right now. Ready? Yeah. Let's get this thing outside. After years of sitting and after hours of work, it was finally moving under its own power outside. Once again, Ohio's best tuner showed up and tried to help us get this thing running 100%. After fixing a couple small things, it's time to show you guys this car, break down the cost, and take this thing for a test drive.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's do it, guys. Let's check out this car.
All right, guys, well, it's time to show you the final Caprice. We do have a few more things that we need to do, including finishing the exhaust and getting that welded. Our welder broke. We got to put up the headliner and stuff. So it's going to cost us a little bit more money before we sell it. But for the most part, it's done. And we also need to get a nice detail. But, you know, we have done the majority of this stuff. And here she is. We still don't know if this thing drives down the road or not. We also put new tires and new rotors on since you guys last saw it. So we went ahead and did a final breakdown of how much money we put into this car. Guys, it's not good. Max has the price that we spent on everything on the Caprice right here. Now, we still have to finish the headliner. We have to finish the exhaust, and I'm paying for labor to Max and Nolan for both of those things. We might have a little bit more to spend, nothing too crazy. So this is like pretty much our final number, what I'm all into this car. From Max's reaction when he saw the price, I know it's a lot, and oh man, I already felt sick about this thing the whole time, but I just need to know the numbers, so.
All right, do you show the camera first?
Yeah.
What's your guess?
Honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we put like 10 grand into this thing. Yeah, that's what I figured. 10,121.68 cents. It's ridiculous. So between buying the car, labor, and parts, this is our total right here. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. So we're probably gonna be around $11,000 total in this thing. I think we'll probably list it for 12 on Marketplace. See what we can get out of it. See if we can at least break even. I'm hoping to put at least, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to break even. I'd like to just break even, guys. I think that's a little much, but we really right now need to see if this thing will drive. We're a little bit in pieces in here right now because we were in the middle of doing a new headliner.
See how much better it revs?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It's moving.
We're freaking, we're driving.
First moving car on back roads. Well, that we built.
Yeah.
Second. Third.
All right. Transmission's doing its thing. So front rotors we put on this are from one of my dad's cars. He needed to replace the rotors on the front because they were a little warped, so they're a little wobbly hitting the brakes. It's all right. It's all right.
Alright, ready? I'll do like half, maybe half throttle.
Okay.
Whoa, I did not do that.
What do you mean?
I didn't, no, like I literally didn't do that. Like it like came out of gear. That was like half. I don't know why it did that. I thought like the drive shaft fell off. That felt like the $500 truck. You know what I'm saying? Remember that?
This is the $10,000 car. Okay.
That's half throttle still.
Dude.
Sounds good. Like it sounds solid.
Just a little
Full.
Yeah.
Punch it. Alright, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Bro! Dang! I don't know why it downshifts and then it's like almost like a safety thing or something.
Dude, that impressed me. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta feel this thing for myself. That last pull was kind of nuts.
That's pretty good.
So if we put it in sport mode, what's
Is that sport mode?
That's what Nolan said. I don't know if he was joking, but
Does it do anything?
oh, it is sport mode. It just
Oh.
started idling higher.
Dude. How do you feel about that?
Dude, I am honestly kind of shocked.
I'm very shocked.
You built this freaking thing, dude.
That's crazy.
Oh
And it
my-
sounds good.
It sounds mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna put it in sport mode, sport shift, and then when I turn traction control off, this is performance mode.
Oh shoot, brand new tires.
I'm not gonna like burn them off, dude. The brakes are
Oh my gosh. Dude, that's way quicker.
that shifted at like 6 RPM.
Dang, look at that backfire. Dang.
Dude,
Did you put it in like,
it's that is like performance shifting. That's what that
it
means.
almost like kind of scares me, I'm not gonna lie. It's just as quick or quicker than you thought.
way quicker than I thought.
Really?
Way quicker. You know, guys, I think the thing to take away here from all of this, we might not be walking away from this with the money in our pocket that we wanted to, but we learned an equally more valuable lesson that'll probably save us tens of thousands more dollars down the road. You only fail if you quit and if you don't learn from your mistakes. So we're gonna finish this car up and have a post on our Instagram once it's completely done, detailed headliners in. If you guys wanna see that, go ahead and follow us. Hopefully we don't get scammed again anytime soon.